welcome to On the Patio. I'm Dean, and today we're at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano. I'm hanging out with the Johnny Griparic. Johnny?
Wow, Wow.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
We are in California, not in Sweden, by the way.
We are.
Yes. Johnny is
Hence
playing.
why we're on the couch and not in a Zoom call.
That's right.
Yeah.
We promised everybody part 2 is going to happen today. Well, we didn't know it would be today, but it is today. It's Friday, December 10th. Merry Christmas, everybody. If this gets posted after Christmas, well, Happy New Year. Johnny, it's a pleasure to see you again in person. We saw you a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Worked on a little something, and here we are. You're on tour with Walter Trout.
I am.
Laying down the bass notes.
I'm doing my best.
You're doing your thing, man. You're living large.
Yeah. Well, today is the first show of the co-headlining bill with John Mayall.
Amazing.
So, very excited
Amazing.
about that.
88, this man is turning. He's a legend.
Not only touring, he's still sound checking.
Which you're going to hear in this clip.
It's the great bass player Greg Arzab.
Oh, amazing.
Of the Black Crowes.
Yes.
And Jimmy Page and etc.
So you're for a treat, folks, if you're at the Coach House tonight. Right?
It'll be a good time.
Yeah. Well, and you're going to be playing.
I am.
But before this, there's a lot of roller coaster to your life.
Certainly is. Yes.
Good, bad, ugly.
All of it.
But you're still on top playing.
Again. Yeah, after a short hiatus.
So we'll get back to that brief history and push that aside for a minute, because that's not important at the moment. Those peaks and valleys are, but some of the peaks will never go away, and one of those is you playing with Snakepit.
Sure.
And your relationship with Slash, still strong to this day.
Yep.
And those guys, is always going to be in your DNA, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I saw Slash a few weeks ago, and I saw Ryan just 5 days ago.
Yeah.
I played on a track that's coming out for Ryan. It's Slade Christmas tune. That's going to be released, I think, next week.
Great.
And I see Matt all the time. So yeah, they're forever in
the family
around.
Yeah. That was a pivot in your life. I mean, you came over from Sweden to do your thing, and here you are, not just hanging, but you're living somewhat your dream of making it in the United States as a musician.
Sure.
Touring with the lead guitar player from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that certainly put me on the map.
Sure.
That opened the doors. I'd done gigs before, but of course, nothing as big as playing with the most famous guitar player in the world at the time, and probably still is.
Right. The modern day Jimmy Page.
For sure.
Or Hendrix.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to compare notes.
Yeah. I mean, not just as a musician, as an entity.
Right.
He's, kids know him as the character of
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And, so he's created something lasting.
But you did too. And I'm not taking anything away from Slash and what he's created and what he's maintained, his own persona away from Guns N' Roses. But you just, folks, in the short amount of time that we have tonight, we could be here for maybe 6 or 7 hours talking about this man's career.
Maybe we need to make a part 3 coming up.
We could do a part 3. I'll see you in Berkeley.
Yeah.
But seriously, you just don't make the appearance or the last cut playing and touring for 5 years with somebody if you don't have the chops and you don't have the hang and you don't have the ability to serve the artist and to serve the audience.
Sure. Yeah.
And so that mode and the reason why you're sitting here or I'm here with you today is, folks, there's a backstory where this guy comes from, not just jamming with Slash and a million other people in your career. I mean, it's a long history.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hard work and dedication and sacrifice.
Tons. There's many bass players or musicians that, play, but they don't put the amount of time needed.
Right.
And then, it's also it's a whole package thing.
Right.
It's how you fit in. It's knowing your role in the band.
Right.
Are you up front, or are you only a supportive role and reading what's needed without having to be told?
Staying in your lane.
Yeah, either tone it down or step back. I mean, those are things. That's why bass playing fits me well, because I like being in the background.
Sure. Well, and you're driving the bus, but from a distance.
Sure.
The rhythm section is always the first section to get stones and beer bottles thrown out if something goes wrong.
It's I always loved when a lead guitar player or something said, "Man, I can always count on you being there, no matter where I go."
Yeah.
That's the ultimate for me.
Sure.
For somebody else, it's panties and standing up top of the stage. That's not me.
Yeah. No, it's okay to be the backup from a distance.
Sure.
Snakepit took you everywhere. You toured with AC/DC extensively.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that got shortened due to, as most Slash fans know, that he got ill.
Right.
And had to take care of himself.
Right. But
in which also the hiatus was so long that the band ended up splitting at that moment as well, unfortunately.
Right. And that was at the time, that was the second incarnation of Snakepit.
Sure.
We had Rod on vocals.
Rod Jackson, yeah.
Carrie came in at that point.
For Ryan Rock.
For Ryan. Ryan went back to Alice, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around.
Yeah. So all these gentlemen that we're talking about today have not just scattered into the universe, they've been playing and still doing their thing to this day.
All of them. Very successfully, yeah.
And here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
Years later, 22 and plus change later.
Oh my God.
And you're touring with Walter Trout.
Yeah.
You're living your life.
It's full circle for me, because growing up in Sweden, I was rock and stuff was always what I listened to, but blues was a big part.
Sure.
And John Mayall's Beano album, as it's known, the Blues Breakers, was enormously influential on me. So to get to tour with the Blues Breaker, Walter, and to now do a co-headlining tour with John Mayall, it's truly full circle for me.
Yeah, that's a humbling statement.
I almost don't want to play because I just want to go listen.
Yeah, and you're part of it.
Yeah,
you're in it from the appreciation level of that individual listening and being inspired.
Sure.
And now here you are playing with someone that you've admired for what? I think you're 36, 37 years age, right?
Me?
You're almost 40, right? So this guy.
Yeah, so I was.
This guy's
10 when we did Snakepit.
This guy's been playing 40? When did you take up the bass? 10, 11?
It was a little later than that, but I'd been playing guitar, so about 15.
So almost 40 years.
Yeah.
Playing music.
You'd think I'd be better after 40 years.
Well, there's room for you tonight. I know you're going to lay it down tonight.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Snakepit because that was something that took you to the next level, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
I know that we could be here for hours talking about the people you've played with, sessioned with, toured with. But Snakepit was something that you really knuckled down on and created a flavor with Slash, didn't you?
Sure. I mean, we started playing together in Slash's Blues Ball, as it was called.
Right.
While waiting for Guns to get their shit together.
Right.
And then, obviously, as the world knows, they ended up splitting up. And Slash approached me about putting Snakepit back together.
Sure.
Because, like Mike Inez, that was on the first record, was in Alice in Chains at the time, and I think, whatever, all the guys were scattered to different projects, so he needed to put new guys back together.
Of course.
So, I think, I might be wrong, it's probably in the Slash book, but I was the first guy he approached, and then we started looking for guys.
And that's where you introduced Rod.
Rod I had known from another project I was doing.
Okay.
And we were trying out many singers, and we just couldn't find the guy. It was a great singer, but didn't have the look, but had the look, couldn't sing, had both, but wasn't a rock guy. It was a nightmare. And I always said, Rod might be the guy. He might be the guy. So he was playing at the Roxy. I took Slash and Matt, the drummer, down, and I think he sang one verse, and Slash looked at me and goes, I might be the guy.
Yeah.
And Rod came down, sang with us, and nailed it.
Yeah. And the rest is history there.
Yeah. I mean, Rod is the voice, the personality, the look. He had it all.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So after Snakepit, you kept going.
Yeah, so back to that. So the Snakepit was really interesting because clearly it was Slash's band.
Right.
But he treated us not as his backup guys, but we were co-writing, we were constantly working on. It felt like a band, even though we of course knew that it was
his band. Yeah. Well, if you look at the credits, the liner notes, everybody's tattooed up and down that.
He's extremely generous in how he treats his guys.
Right. No, it was
probably more than most. I gotta be honest.
Right. Well, because I think that came, if you don't mind my opinion, that came from him being in Guns and didn't want that to be transcended into Snakepit.
You have to ask him about that.
Yeah.
I'm staying out of that one. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's where he projected a vibe of everybody being equal and being treated like they were just regular members.
Sure.
And there wasn't a hierarchy or anybody under or above. And I think
it became a real brotherhood.
Yeah.
It was, because we would tour a lot with that band. We'd be out for months and months, and we'd come home and, I don't want to see these guys for at least a month. Don't call me if you see me walking down the street. Cross. Don't say hello. Don't. Later that night, we go, hey, you want to go hang out?
Yeah.
Like, we were really
tight family. Yeah. And for all of you folks following along the playbook, the album is Ain't Life Grand.
Right.
And that album is just ridiculous. I mean, every track in that album is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a little departure from, I think, what Slash was known for. It was more rock and roll as heavy rock.
Right. Right. Little and some blues in there a little bit. Had some swinging blues in there.
Slash is quite the blues player.
Yes, he is.
I think people know, but they don't know how much he actually loves blues.
Well,
as they start playing,
and that's part of the forte of why you're here with Walter, because of your influence. And let's just face it, that's where rock and roll came from.
And that's how I met Slash. Was me and Teddy Zigzag, who was in Guns,
right,
touring band. We had a band that played at this place called the Baked Potato.
Of course.
We had R&B blues jam, and Slash would come and play with us. So that's how I met him.
Yeah.
Playing blues.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And here we are again with the blues.
Yeah. All full circle.
Yeah.
So Walter Trout's taken you out for what? 5 more months, it looks like, if not longer. You're booked into 2022 pretty deep.
We just got his email today with some dates, and it's taken us to December of next year.
Amazing.
So
amazing.
And God willing, I'm going to knock on wood that it does happen because of Corona. We never know, but and it's getting filled out, so it's a lot of work.
That's great.
One thing you got to give these older blues dignitaries, they love to work.
Of course, they were built to work.
Yeah.
They weren't built to stay at home.
They don't want to sit around.
No. And you were built to work.
I can barely keep up with an 88-year-old and a 70-year-old.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And before we conclude, folks, I want you to take a minute, and you might have seen it already from part 1. Johnny and James Piacentino have a brand that they formed not too long ago, but long enough the word's gotten around. Unchained Brands is something this man and James, JP, has put together. It's wearables and jewelry, but hold on a minute. That's just the veneer of that Cadillac. The real engine behind that company is about giving back and supporting other people in the music industry and supporting people that supported Johnny and have helped with James. There's a backstory to that. You can go back to part 1 of this segment, if you will. But the real story is about how this man came up from the ashes, personally, and is giving back through Unchained into Music Cares. And that's another side subject, but I wanted to bring that up again because that's huge into your arteries right now, isn't it?
It is, and it's thanks to everyone that supported, and you,
of course.
it's growing. It's a lifestyle brand focused on musicians, rock and roll, whatever lifestyle, but in a healthy way.
Right.
And also paying it forward with the help that I got.
Right.
That's how you move it along. It's helping somebody else, then that person helps somebody.
And that's the whole basis why we're here today, is because of that platform, that threshold, if you will, without maybe kissing up. That's why Johnny's here, is to lay down a track that his name is on, and along with James. We have to give him props, even though he's not here today. It's a partnership, it's a team.
It's 50-50 for sure. Yeah.
And there's some epic people behind it. Unchainedbrands.com. You don't have to buy the flagship piece. You can buy a shirt, you can buy the chain, you can buy whatever you want. But the proceeds of the product and the sale, the transaction, if you will, helps other people.
Correct. Through
this man and JP. And I just wanted to tell you folks, check it out. You can drop them a line, you can buy something, but check out what the real motive, the incentive is. It's just not a website with a cash symbol.
No, it's a it's a work in progress, of course, and that's one side, but it's a lifestyle brand eventually that's getting built out.
Sure.
And using my story, and like you said, if somebody just wants to write me a note, they don't have to purchase anything. We will make sure to answer, and if I can help in any way, that's why we started the company, and that's how we're going to...
Done with the right intentions.
Correct.
Yeah, done with the right intentions.
We're going to do our best to keep the integrity of...
No, absolutely.
The simplicity of that.
Yeah, and that's the good thing. It's no frills. It's very simple organization. Just very simple. Johnny Griparic is out on tour with Walter Trout. You can follow Johnny's tour with Walter. I think it's waltertrout.com.
Yeah.
Unchainedbrands.com. We'll have some links in this piece so you can follow along. Johnny, I know it's almost time for you to go.
It is time, and we can let John Mayle serenade us out.
Absolutely. Brother, it was good seeing you, man. Kids, you've been watching.
Part 3 coming.
Yeah, part 3 is coming. On the patio.rocks is where you're going to find us. Everybody, take care.
Thank you.